Well, hello and welcome to Long Hair Care Ministry. I'm glad that you decided to join me again today, and I want to talk to you today about really brief about length retention. That's right, length retention. Length retention is one of the main ways that you can get your long flowing hair. I think it's important to understand what all that means. Like, what do you mean length retention? Well, as you guys see on YouTube, you see a lot of these young ladies with this long, beautiful hair. You're wondering, how do they get that? Oh, if I can have hair like that, oh, this and that. First of all, you got to be glad and thankful that God given you the hair that you have in your hair and not wish for anybody else's hair. And you don't know what it took for them to get that hair and what they've done on a consistent basis to get the hair that they have on their head. All the struggles they've gone through, or whatever they're doing, their regimen, their every day that they're doing certain things to their hair to make it reach a certain length. Maybe it's waist length, maybe it's shoulder length, maybe it's bra strap length, or maybe it's tailbone length. I don't know. I probably wouldn't want my hair that long, but but they're doing certain things to their hair to retain the length on their hair. And you know that your ends are the oldest part of your hair, which means you got to take care of this part. Take care of this part. If you're constantly damaging your hair, constantly doing things that damage your hair, I would say, I don't think you're intentionally actually doing that. But if you're doing things that will actually cause danger or cause problems with it, then, of course, it's going to be a problem with it, right? So there's a couple of things that you can do, and I'm going to share that with you today. You want to make sure that you are not doing things that will cause breakage, right? Okay, so let's take a look at this give me just a couple minutes here. I'm going to pull up some tips here for you just to understand the importance of retaining the length of your hair, which is it's the oldest part of your hair. So let's take a look at these tips here, which I hope this will be helpful for you. And I'm sure a lot of you are probably already doing this. But I hope that you are being consistent with this, right? So I'm going to give you 10 tips to retain length to maximize hair growth, okay? So of course you want to make sure that you are handling your hair with tender care. You got to be gentle with your hair. I know we have a lot of thick hair on our head. Sometimes you're like, oh, if I could just, right? But you got to be careful with your hair. Be gentle with it because it's fragile, right? Make sure that you're washing, deep conditioning your hair with a moisture-rich shampoo and conditioner. And even as you're styling, be gentle as you're styling. Be gentle with the different types of things that you're doing to your hair. Even as you're touching your hair, be gentle. As you're combing or brushing your hair, make sure you're careful with it. And in actuality, really the best thing to do is finger detangling. Okay, so the first thing is handling your hair with tender care. All right. One of the things that I do like to do with my hair is the two twist method with moisturizing it and the oils and then tucking it under. All right, so that's one of the things that I like to do because I'm trying to retain the length. Remember, we are trying to retain the length of our hair, right? So in order to do that, it's important to twist it and then tuck it under and then take a bobby pin and pin up that ends, right? So the first thing, of course, is handling your hair with care, being very, very gentle with it, all right? And then, of course, your finger detangling, which I know some people may or may not agree with this, but I do believe that if you finger detangle your hair, I think it's much more, I think it's better than using combs and brushes and all those other harsh tools that can really break your hair off. If you're just racking through with a comb or small little tooth comb and all this, you're trying to blow dry your hair out straight and you have these little small tooth combs trying to get it. It's just, I don't know. There's so many different ways around it. And remember, you're trying to be very, very gentle with your hair. You're trying to take care of your hair, right? So finger detangling for length retention does have benefits. Of course, they can reduce breakage. and damage. It allows you to feel. You can feel and address the knots in your hair. You can feel, oh, there's a knot here. You can take it and put some moisturizer on there, some cream, some oil, or some type of detangling, I don't know, oil or cream to help break out that knot. You can feel it with your fingers. All right. And then of course, you want to do this, of course, when the hair is damp, applying natural oils or conditioners, section your hair to work through it in manageable sections. As you're trying to manage the sections, of course, avoid detangling when the hair is dry. I know sometimes you can, do it sometimes, but I think it's just not good to do it at all. If you want to detangle your hair, make sure it's moisturized, it's wet, it's damp, and you have some type of oil or conditioner on it. Of course, and then also regular detangling can help maintain healthy hair and prevent breakage. All right. So finger detangling is, remember I talked about handling your hair with care. So if your finger detangling your hair with care, then it's going to reduce breakage. So you're not just raking through it with, a comb or a brush, or your finger detangling, trying to get the knots out, and you're using something to help you break out the knots. If you feel a little knot on there, you can sit there and get it out with a bobby pin or something, but you want to be very careful with your hair. You want this long hair, it's going to take time and patience, so make sure that you have put time aside to detangle and get those knots out, okay? And that's number 2, finger detangling. Number 1 was handling your hair with care. Number 2, finger detangling for length retention. So I've given you those tips. Number 3, sectional washing. So I'm hoping that when you're washing your hair, that you're washing your hair, because we have thick hair. As Black women, we have thick hair. Most of us do. You want to, as you see, a lot of people, they will section their hair off and put it in big twist because it's easier to wash it that way. This minimizes tangles. All right. And then of course, number 4, I've talked about this in one of my other videos, and that was regular trims, making sure that you're getting your ends split, examining your ends, making sure there's no split ends there. Cut those little split ends off, because those ends, if it's split, can split up the hair shaft. So you got to continue to check those ends. And I cannot stress this enough how important it is, because remember, you're trying to retain the length of hair on your head. And if your length of hair, your ends, if it's broken or if it's split, it's going to break off. You're not going to ever get the length. That's why that's why it's like it's here, because you still have bad ends. So you're going to have to make sure that you're getting your ends trimmed. And you don't have to get a big cut, I don't think, unless you really need a big chop. If you need a big chop, start off like that or something. I don't know. Depends on how bad your ends are. But just make sure that you are trimming your ends regularly, clipping those bad ends off. Cut them off if you have to, but remember, you got to examine your hair. You're handling your hair with care. Examine it, see if it needs to be cut them off, and then you moisturize and make sure that you're protecting them. Number 6, that's number 4, was regular trim. Number 3 was sectional washing. 4 was regular trims. 5 is a pre-poo treatment. So I think I shared before about a couple of products that I use to soften my hair. I use a conditioner and an oil that helps to break down your hair. Before you shampoo your hair. You might have to leave it on overnight or do these Hollywood treatments or something, but make sure that you are preparing your hair for the wash. All right. It helps with the detangling process as well. It softens your strands. It does a lot. So use definitely a conditioner can do it, an oil or something to help soften your hair for pre-pooing before you wash it. Number 6 is seal the moisture in. Okay, so after you wash your hair, after you condition your hair, after you do all what you need to do to it, you want to make sure that you seal it with moisture. All right. And check your moisture levels daily so that if you need to moisturize it. You should not let your hair go dry at all, because if you let it go dry, guess what? It's going to be snap, crackle, pop. It's going to break off, because we need moisture and our hair eats it up. That's why you're constantly putting moisture in your hair, because it craves moisture. It stays dry a lot, so you got to keep putting moisture in it. And whether it's watering it's like you're watering a plant. You water your hair, put the oil in there, the cream in there, and you have that. So we want to make sure that you're sealing moisture. That's number 6. Number 7, limit heat styling. Okay, I know some people like straight hair. I like straight hair. And when it comes to, I want to get my hair silk pressed, I wanted to do a blowout, make sure that you do it on a very, very low heat, or use cool air. when you blow your hair out. Okay. Sometimes people stretch their hair out and don't even use any heat at all. They just stretch it out by twisting it up and wrapping it around their hair. I think I might have shared some tips about that in a previous video. All right. So stretching out your hair can help you with the blowout look. So this helps you with limiting the heat styling. So if you want to blow out your hair, make sure that your temperature is on cool or on very, very low heat. All right. Number 8. Of course, you want to protect your hair at night when you're going to sleep. Make sure you have like a satin bonnet or something over your hair that is satin, or a pillowcase or something that's satin, so to avoid all the friction that can happen on your hair when it's up against cotton or anything else. Number 9 is practice low manipulation and protective styling. So of course, when your hair is in a protective style, as I mentioned before in one of other previous videos, is that, when it's in a protective styling, this is going to cause low manipulation. You won't be messing with it all the time, right? You find yourself, your hands in your hair all the time and whatever. That's why it's good to have it in protective styling while you're trying to grow your hair out. And it's okay to do that for a period of time. You don't have to always have your hands in your hair. And they're like, us girls like to touch our hair, but just if you can set aside some time to put your hair in protective style and in a low manipulation style so that you don't have to touch your hair, then this reduces the stress on your hair strands. It's going to minimize manipulation, all right? And so definitely consider the protective styling, whatever one you want. And number 10, mindful production selection. So, again, find the right hair care products that work for your hair. Usually it's sulfate and alcohol free, something that's specifically for your type of hair. If you're a 4A girl, 4B, 4C, 3A, whatever hair texture you have, make sure you find a product that works for you. Okay. So I hope those tips have been helpful for you. And I will say, as always, that we are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, right? We know that Genesis 1:31 says that God saw everything that he made, and behold, it was very good. So you, my sister, are fearfully and wonderfully made, and even your hair is fearfully and wonderfully made. And so it's okay that, for you to even pray for the Lord to grow your hair, to help you, give you the wisdom to be able to grow strong and healthy hair, because God made your hair. He is your creator. He knows the number of hairs on your head. A scripture as well, that's Matthew 10:30. Okay. He knows the number of hairs on your head. And if you want to keep every strand, ask God to give you wisdom for the right products to help you to strategize on how to grow your hair, protect it from breaking, so that you can maintain your hair. And then Philippians 4:19 says, and my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches and glory in Christ Jesus. So, if you need it, if you like to have long hair, it's nothing wrong with asking God to give it to you. The wisdom to be able to grow the hair on your head at a length that you want. And you can do it because, again, your hair is constantly growing from your scalp. If your hair is growing from your scalp and you're maintaining your ends, guess what? It's going to keep getting longer, and you'll eventually have the hair that you want. Okay? So I hope you found those tips helpful for you. Remember, Jesus loves you, and if you have not yet given your life to Jesus Christ, give your life to Jesus Christ, because he is good, he is real. It's a beautiful thing to know him and to walk with him. And yes, he cares about you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and he cares about even the hair in your head. Just remember that, okay? Pray and ask God to give you wisdom on how to grow your hair and resources and the right products that work for you, okay? And if this is your first time visiting this channel, please make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel so that way you don't miss a video. And so make sure that you also click the bell. Yep, right there. Ding. So that you will not miss a video. I will be posting usually every other weekend. I'll be posting primarily on a Friday, sometimes on a Sunday or so, but I will give you a video every 2 weeks or so. So please make sure that you like and subscribe and comment below. I'd love to hear your hair story. All right. Thanks so much for subscribing to Alone Hair Care Ministry.